And hello, all. Welcome to the December 12th edition of Tuesday with Todd. I'm your host, Todd. We have a great show for you lined up tonight. So, what are we talking? Well, we are continuing on in our marketing series. We're going to do that once a month. We have Bob in from Fresh. Thought I was going to sneeze. That did not happen. From Fresh Horizions Marketing today. And what we're going to talk about is maybe something you don't think about it. I know I didn't think about it at first, and the more I dove into it and the more Bob explained it to me, it really moved me on how powerful it was, and it's super simple and easy to do. So we're going to talk about the critical role that Google reviews will play in your business health. I know it sounds like super fancy, right? I'm telling you, it's not that difficult, and we're going to walk you through that. We're going to walk you through it using our marketing system, and on top of that, we're going to show you something towards the end of what you're going to get when you sign up with our marketing system. There's a standalone option for it, but it really makes sense to get on the marketing side of it. So I'm going to check in with you guys, see how everybody's doing, make sure that you can hear me and see me, and you'll let me know that. I got some lights flickering, so we'll see how that all plays out, and then we'll get Bob in here. So let's check in and see how everybody is doing. Barb, hello to you. North Central Minnesota, 11, real feel, hot tea in the cup. I don't even know. My thing says it's 30 and sunny, and it's pitch black outside, so I know that's lying to me. What's up, Chuck? Good evening to you. We're at 64 in Central Florida. He's got water in the cup. I've got water in the tumbler, so I'm right there with you. Darren, hello to you. Alex, thanks for joining us. Lori, hello. 61 there in California. T-Town, Tim, thanks for joining us. 37. Got a spike to drink. That sounds very, very nice. All right. So we're going to bring Bob in here. We're going to have Bob tell you about himself a little. And then, hey, if you have got questions that come up while we do this, make sure to ask them because we love the interaction with it. So without further ado, let's get Bob in here. Bob, hello. How are you? Let me pop this and make it a little bit bigger. Hey, look, there we are. Hey, Bob, how's it going for you today?
Man, it is awesome. I love being back here. Your intro music just gets me going. And probably all of my office neighbors as well. Because that was cranked at 10, and stuff was falling off the desk. That was wonderful.
It's got a little, I think it's called Stomp the Yard. I think that's what the music is called. Now I got to go look. There's a free music site and I got to remember, it's Keep Stomping. That's what it is. Keep Stomping.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I like this one. We'll go ahead and use it. I've got it timed about right, so it gives me about a minute intro because I know our system lags before it puts it out there. And there was before people were like, I felt like I missed part of it. And it was like, okay, well, here's the easy way to do it. So, yeah, it works. It works. So, Bob,
it got me going. So,
for those that don't know you, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself and what we are going to talk about tonight?
Man, well, we're gonna set you guys up for success going into 2024. So I go by AI Bob affectionately because I just love everything AI right now, good, bad, and all the other stuff, right? But I'm Bob. I'm with Fresh Horizions Group, and Fresh Horizions Group is a promo and marketing company based here in beautiful Beloit, Wisconsin. We've been in the industry for 4 years. Started off as apparel decorators and doing promo stuff, and have morphed into a full service agency working with clients to better tell their story through physical products and digital tools. But tonight, what we talk about is the digital side and the way we can help you grow your business and attract and retain more of your ideal clients. The thing that so many of us miss is that we're good at getting the stuff out the door. We're good at making a shirt or making a banner or whatever it is, but we sometimes kind of suck at that marketing piece. And that's where my life is. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've owned businesses since I was 14 years old. Was hustling people when I was in 6th grade, I think, all the way, if we go all the way back, and have just parlayed that into learning how to run companies and really love the aspect of marketing and certainly sales. So that's a little bit about me. And so I'm going to kick it back to you, and we're just going to roll this thing.
That works for me. So, Bob, what is it that we're going to talk to us about? I know that, we got that title, the critical role of Google reviews and your business health. What exactly does that mean, and what is going to be the goal of tonight's show for people?
Yeah, so I've got a full presentation. If you guys have seen me here before, a lot of times it's been kind of off the cuff and just a conversation. Tonight, we're going to really go through a presentation talking about the need to have reviews, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and the impact that it has on your business. And I think in that title, it was the health of your business. Mm-hmm. So we're going to cover reviews, how to get them, how to respond, how to automate the entire process. So that's going to be the focus of the conversation. And like you said at the end, we got a little surprise for.
We do. I think it's been fun working on that, and we're not going to give too much away, but I guarantee it'll change your business. I just guarantee that one way or the other, it'll change your business.
Yeah, good or bad. I mean, we're not going to define this. That's up to you guys. But
right.
Yeah, it'll change your business.
That's what I'm saying. I am right on board with that. All right, Bob. Well, if you want to, let's see. You took your present away. I seen it down there. What'd you do?
Let me bring it back. I was like, I don't want to come quite like that. So
yeah, as long as it's.
I was afraid it was going to look weird. So
no, because
guys, and I apologize, guys. If I cough, it's just because I'm fat. I'm not really sick. I'm just fat. So there's that for you.
We have got the sickness rolling through, bronchitis, and it is just rolling through from family member to family member, and I know it's a matter of time. I just needed to, if I can make it to like next Wednesday before I'm sick and just be sick for Christmas, I'm fine with that. That's
right. I don't want to be sick for Christmas. We've got an 8-year-old at home, and he's all about Christmas this year, and it's awesome. So I want to be healthy for that. The rest of it, whatever. But quick, just seeing in the comments that Alex has got some whiskey in the cup. I mean, fabulous. That'll make my presentation a lot better. Just, if everybody just wants to start drinking, that'll make this a lot easier for all of us.
That was last week. Last week we made bows, and it was, we're going to do that once a month, a craft afternoon, where it's like, hey, what can somebody show us? And here's a drink, and the girls made some Grinch drinks, and it was not good, but they kept bringing different variations of it, and it was a great show with me learning to make bows. And next month it's going to be hair bows. So we've done ornament bows, tree topper bows, and next will be hair bows. So I'm kind of become the bow king on it,
Yeah. You and I got a little bit of struggle with that though, and we got a bunch of quitters up top. So
yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
Yeah, well, maybe we get those like stick-on dots or something like that.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
All right, well, should we jump into this or what?
Yep, just jump into it. Let's jump into it.
Ready. So, and just want to confirm you can see my screen, correct?
Now I can. I added it to it, so now it's there, and we're good to go. And I want to see something there. Is it better for you this way or better for you on the side?
Let's go the other way, please.
Other way. Perfect. We can go that way with it, and that'll take that there for you. There you go. So take it away, Bob. Joseph, give us the tour.
All right. Well, here we go. Glad everybody's hopped on it. It's tonight really is a conversation to help you prepare for going into 24 and talking about one of the most critical things that you can do for your business. And get this, it doesn't cost a dime to do it. Now, we've got some tools that'll speed it up, but it doesn't cost a dime, and it will change your business. So what are we talking about? We're talking about reviews and the critical role that they play in your business's health. Before I even get into the presentation, let me just share this with you. If you take nothing away from this presentation, understand this. Your Google business profile is your number one asset that your business has, bar none. And the reason why is people make their buying decisions when they see your Google business profile long before they get to your website, Facebook page, whatever. So make sure that is dialed in, number one, and then once that's dialed in, worry about all the other things. So, and I lead with that because that's where the reviews come into play and things like that. So we're going to jump into this. And I need to make this thing change. Here we go. Todd, it's not letting me change my screen. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm like, no. And been on this computer all day long, and it's like, no, we're to the fun stuff finally.
Right.
So the agenda for the conversation here is we're going to talk about Fresh Horizions Marketing and Reputation Management. We're going to talk about the importance of getting reviews consistently, responding to reviews, automating the process, and then leveraging AI, because you can't have a conversation with AI Bob without talking about AI.
It's true.
So very, very. You guys can probably read better than I can. I barely got out of high school. So we used AI to write this. And if this seems a little off, it's because AI did it, not me. All right, here we go. So in today's digital landscape, online reviews are more important than ever. And let me ask you this. When was the last time you were out, let's say you traveled out of town and you're staying at a hotel and you want to order pizza? What did you do?
Google.
Did you pull up your phone and say pizza near me and start reading the reviews?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And did you make a decision about where to order pizza before you ever went to their website? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing that people do when they're searching for a custom apparel decorator or a marketing agency, a lawn care company, heck, even the company that comes and cleans our garbage cans. We looked at their reviews, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's everything. So and social, what's the right way to say this? Social credibility is invaluable in today's world when we're just bombarded with content just overflowing. It's like we can get endless amounts of content all day long. And so how do we sift through it? Well, we look to see what are our friends or what are our peers saying about something. And instead of, asking the neighbor next door like we used to, or asking a friend, hey, who would you recommend for this, that, or the next? We use our technology and we look at reviews. And so if your business isn't maximizing its reviews and following some basic protocols that we're going to go over, you're leaving money on the table and your competition is eating your lunch. All right. So we're going to talk about the critical needs for this. We're going to talk about the power of this tool, the Fresh Horizions marketing platform, to leverage that and unlock the health of your business through that tool. So, talking about positive reviews and online visibility. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gotten a bad review?
Funny enough, I was just looking at my bad reviews.
Yeah. So bad reviews are not necessarily a bad thing, though. Okay. Understand that. It's how you respond to them. Mm-hmm. I have actually seen in lots of conversations with different businesses where they've got a reasonably good overall score. They're in the low to mid 4s or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they've got some bad reviews. And they have told me that those bad reviews have earned them more business because people trusted them. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid of a bad review, but you really have to man up and address that bad review in a professional manner. Do not get into a bashing thing like, well, I told you to come pick up your order and you didn't, so I threw it in the trash and you're an idiot. And mm-hmm. We've all seen these crazy things, right? Don't do that. Go in there with some calm, a cool level head, address it, be professional, and move on. And if you've got a system where you can automate this, I apologize about that cough. If you've got the system like what we offer to automate this, then what I suggest to every one of our clients, if you get a bad review, bury it with good reviews. Mm-hmm. Reach out to all your customers, send them an email, send out a text blast. Hey, send us a positive review. There are some companies that we've seen do this where they actually will script it. They know they're going to get some bad reviews. I don't, they just do some questionable stuff, and they know they're going to get some bad reviews, and they actually wrote an entire campaign to wind people up to do this. So when they get a bad review, they just bury it with good reviews. But what people will do is they'll make a buying decision about your business based on how you handle some of those negative reviews. And if it's a 1-star review, like your ex-employee, oh, they're terrible. And, we get those too sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That people, I mean, we're humans, we're smart. We're going to look at that and be like, whatever, but if it's a legitimate thing, they give you a, 2, 3, 4-star review. And it's like, hey, Bob screwed up this order. They sewed the thing together and they still shipped it. True story, happened one time.
Yeah.
And, they people are like, we get in there, we respond, and we say, hey, we apologize, we'll make it right, or we made it right, or here, whatever. People respect that. So this helps you with your online visibility. The more reviews you have, good and bad, the better you stand out in the busy world of Google. So keep not grabbing the right screen.
I've been there.
Yep. Let's see. What am I doing? What did I do, Todd? Because now it's not letting me click to the next one.
You clicked off something, so you need to go to presenter view, I bet, and bring that back up and have it there. So that way, and then use your arrows to go back and forth through it. There
we go.
There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See, this is all part of learning. We have, and that's why, when people say, that, there's jobs that are being lost to AI. There are, but people still need to be able to function to do that, right? There's still jobs that are for people out there, That's what
I'm going to have to hire people just to push buttons. I mean, it's right. Legit. If nothing else, if you guys don't come away laughing about some of the crazy stuff that I do or say or like whatever, it's like I totally failed tonight, right? Because I'm just a guy that's like, hey, I'm passionate about helping businesses. I found this awesome tool, and by the way, we can all speed it up by using AI. So if stuff goes sideways, hey, enjoy the ride. It's going to be fun, okay? Because I don't know what's going on. I don't know where it's going to end up. So, so we covered some of this. So responding to reviews promptly. This is a big deal. This has become a bigger deal over the last probably 12 months or so. Google looks at not only are you getting reviews, but are you responding to those reviews? And then as a third part, how quickly are you responding? Because they want you to participate in their platform as if it were another social media platform. Now, they're not looking for you to be posting and having a conversation like that, but they're wanting engagement. And when you get a review, they want to see you respond. And it was at a point where people were saying, well, you shouldn't use AI to respond to stuff. You shouldn't have AI writing your content. And about 4 months ago, Google completely changed the way they do that, and they embrace that because they are the future. They're competing they're developing their own platform to go out there and play in that hyper active AI space. So that all changed, and they embrace it. We'll talk about how you can do that a little bit more here in the future. Or not in the future. Yeah, it's going to be the future. It's like
it will be in the future, technically.
We define the future in really weird terms now. But responding to positive reviews shows appreciation, encourages continued loyalty. It really people like to kind of dote on the companies that they do business with, but they also like it when they get a response back that says thanks for the business. We all like to be thanked when we do business with a company, and it doesn't happen very often. Yet it's also important to respond promptly when you get a negative review. And like I talked about a moment ago, doing that in a cool, level-headed, non-emotional manner, just being professional and addressing the situation. It's going to happen, but it's about how we respond to it when we do get a bad review. And it'll help to resolve those issues and prevent further damage to your brand. Because believe it or not, whether you're a one-person operation or you've got hundreds of employees or thousands of employees, you are a brand. And people look to your overall content, your overall view in the internet as a brand. And they make decisions based on, hey, is this somebody or something that we can trust? Having a good strategy to how you're responding to how you're getting and responding to reviews is really, really important. And a part of that is responding promptly. So whether you're using our system, which can completely automate that for you, or you're doing it yourself, make sure you respond right away. I would say within 24 hours.
Okay.
So moving on, automating the review process. We are all crazy busy, right? And if you're good at getting reviews, if you've got a strategy where every time an order goes out, you're requesting a review and you're getting a good flow of reviews, taking the time to respond to them can be just another task that you're like, I just don't get to it. But then the effort that you've put in to get those reviews is somewhat tarnished because you're not responding. So with the Fresh Horizions Marketing platform, that can be completely automated. And I'll explain a little bit how in a moment. But collecting and responding to reviews can be time consuming. We talked about that. But with this, it simplifies the whole process. We can help you to set up an entire series of automations that from the moment your deal closes, whether it's an order for some t-shirts or maybe you're closing a marketing campaign or whatever your business does, at the point that everybody's excited and they're like, let's go, that's when you want that review to go out, that review request to go out, to be specific. And from there, you're going to want to follow up on it, and you're going to want to make sure that once you get that review, that you respond to it right away. So automating the process through our system, you can set that up to automatically go out when it's triggered. So if it's somebody comes in and picks up an order, the system can automatically send a review request. But it can also follow up until they send a review, or until you're like, hey, it's been a year, they probably forgot about us.
Right.
You pick that time frame, but automatically be able to follow up with them and encourage them to leave a review, because sometimes they'll get that review request and they're driving down the road and they're like, oh, yep, I definitely want to tell Todd that he did a great job on these shirts, but they're driving down the road and they can't do it. So having a follow-up that goes out for a period of time that you can set, that you can determine, will help you to get more of those reviews. Because if you've done a good job, people want to tell you that. And then follow up on those review requests. This, again, consistently, if you don't get it right away, stay with them, and maybe if they're not giving you a positive review, maybe there's something else that's going on and you want to reach out to them and address that anyway, right? Because maybe they're like, hey, there was something wrong. I don't want to leave you a positive review, but I don't want to say anything bad either. They're just being polite. They respect your business enough, or they respect you enough that they're not going to trash you. So if you're seeing a situation like that, it's an opportunity to reach out and say, hey, I notice you haven't left us a review. Is there something wrong? And they'll just be like, no, I'm just busy. I haven't had time, or I just don't leave people reviews. Or it's like, hey, the logo on the front, it was a little sideways and just wasn't quite thrilled with it. So I didn't want to leave a review, but I didn't want to say anything either. So that's an opportunity to go in and build that relationship with that client and help them to fall back in love with you, and catch something before it became a bad situation. Because if they're not leaving you a review, I promise you, they're still telling their friends about you, good or bad, right? So
Mhm.
that's an opportunity there to follow up, and sometimes it'll turn into more work. We've seen that happen too. So, and then responding to reviews. You want to respond, like I said, probably within about 24 hours. If or let's say at least within the next business day. Okay. So responding on a right away, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something simple. Hey, really appreciate the business, or try to make it personal. Like, hey, this was a fun project to work on. I look forward to doing more with you. Or if it's something bad, hey, appreciate you reaching out. We're working to make this right with you, and here's the steps that we're taking, or whatever you feel is the right way to respond to that negative review. So leveraging AI, when it comes to AI, a lot of people are still turned off by it. They're scared of it,
Mhm.
but here's the reality. It is there, and it is going to continue to push further and further into our lives. Those of us that adapt and work with it early on are going to move much faster and reap the rewards of being a first adapter. It's just the way this thing's working. And when we talk about, early adopter, I mean, we're 1 year in. We're just over 1 year in from the launch of ChatGPT, right? And just over a year ago, just over a year ago, nobody consciously knew what AI was. And at this point, we're all starting to talk about it. And you're going to see 2024 kind of be that year where the wave comes. And if you're not in front of the wave, you're going to be swept up with the wave. So I encourage you to engage with it and use a platform, ours, that has it built in. If again, it's about how do we streamline things. I think the most powerful part of AI is that we can streamline our efforts. As a human, we can take and use a tool and be able to multiply our efforts, as opposed to having to think all this stuff through. We could just put a system in place and have it work. And we've used it. We've been using this ourselves for the last, I think, 2 or 3 months in out where we deployed AI in our Google review process, and it's awesome. It comes up with stuff better, like short things, better than I would have. And it makes it easier. So what it'll do, what our system will do, is you'll get a review, and AI will automatically respond to it. And the way it works is that you will have trained, or we will have helped you train your AI system to respond based on your company's information, your company's personality. And so it's not, Todd's going to respond something different than a guy in California. Maybe not. Maybe more like a guy in Texas or something, right? I don't know. Just trying to create some comparisons that you can contrast with there. But it's going to be completely based on your business's information, personality, and things like that. The power is that you're leveraging the Google platform to grow your business without having to put any effort in. Once it's set up, it just runs. And getting it set up is super easy. It was probably harder for you to get on this call than it is for you to set up AI with our system. And I'm not
Yeah,
making that up. It really is
yeah,
that
I
easy.
totally agree
Um,
with you.
in the other part is having authentic reviews. Like, if you were to go back, and I encourage you guys, go on and look at our reviews, look at Fresh Horizons reviews. Early on, you would see that there was like a pattern to it, where I was saying the same thing over and over and over. We've got a little over, we're at 50 reviews, or a little over 50 reviews, or something like that. And when I realized that, hey, I should respond to all these, because I wasn't responding to them all right away. I went through and just started like, hey, thanks for your business, da 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 da. But it was all kind of the same. When we started to leverage AI, the responses became more personalized because the system was generating something that was clever or nice or whatever without me having to think about it. Because how do you guys do it? When you get a review, do you even respond? And when you do, are you really putting a lot of thought into it? It's probably not. It's probably one of those things you're like, I know I've got to do this, and you just keep pushing it off. Where now with this, it can be completely automated.
Mm-hmm.
So another piece of this, and I don't know where we're at here. There's a part of this that we haven't really covered in the presentation. I want to note for you though, and that is the amount of reviews that you have. Your business, if you've been around for more than say 18 months, and you're actively in business, you should be setting a goal to get yourself to where you've got at least 50 reviews. All right. And the reason why is, again, it's a crowded space out there. And when you start to kind of break over that threshold of 50 reviews, Google seems to look at you better. And so if you've got an established competitor that hasn't engaged with that, and they're sitting there at, 20 reviews or 5 reviews or whatever, makes you look like a hero. And when people look and they're like, hey, Mary Joe's Customs down the street, they only have 5 reviews, but they've been around for 20 years, but they only have 5 reviews. And here's AI Bob kicking along with 50 reviews. People can be like, hey, what's the buzz with that? How's that working? So you can leverage this as a marketing tactic. Again, doing that manually, doing all of this manually costs you nothing. I encourage you to continue to focus on growing your business and use the Fresh Horizions marketing platform to grow. Because if you're trying to do everything yourself, you can't. There's going to be pieces that fall through the cracks, and oftentimes something as simple as responding to a review does, because you're like, oh man, I got to get this proposal out, or I've got to get this, I've got to get this sew out done, or I've got to get this order out, or whatever. You're putting out the fires instead of working on the things that will long term yield you more business. So that's it. Something fast, something fun, something hopefully impactful in your business. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to turn this back over. And Todd, let's just have a conversation about everything.
Yeah. So Bob, what do you think when it comes to like Google reviews and that? How, with our system, you're able to automatically have that happen. Now, when it comes to what do you ask somebody? Is it just like, hey, give me a review, or is it, hey, how do you word that so you want them to be a part of the conversation instead of you're just saying, hey, I want you to do this for them.
Yeah, we make it simple. It's we appreciate your business. Would you be willing to leave us a great 5-star review? If we did a great job for you, would you be willing to leave us a great 5-star review? That's how we do it. We don't make it fancy. We don't make it there's no trickery to it. It's just be human. I know it's funny, AI Bob saying be human, but don't think that there's some trick. It's just asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's important. Not everybody will, but that's why we have the follow-up system, because those that get it where maybe it's an opportune time or they forget or whatever, that's why you follow up with them for a period of time. Obviously I made a joke in there about going for a year. Generally after, a period of a month or so, you're probably going to let that go. But, it's one of those where just simply ask, and we've got within the system, it's pre-built, we'll include that script in there to where it automatically, will send that out. But you can edit that to, for whatever's right for your business. Maybe you're a sarcastic, hilarious guy and you want to have it in that tone, like, hey, you better leave me a damn review or I'm coming to your house. I mean, I don't know, whatever works for you.
Right? It's all in your style. Now, do you have, with the system, that can you show how that actually works? Like, what happens, it asks for the view where it takes the customer to from there, and that side of it, or explain how that works. Like we're asking for a review. Okay, so how does that ask to the customer get to my Google reviews?
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if I can let me get into that part of our system real quick, and then I'll share the screen so you can see it.
Because I think that's like in my emails, I have the leave. I have that part in my what's the bottom of the email called? I can't even, in my signature, where it's like, here, leave us a review, and I just have that in there for everything that goes out. And does it ever get clicked? Once in a while, but it's there
Yeah.
for it. And then I have the notifications on, so Google lets me know that, hey, a new review came in and I need to go do that. But with the new thing, you don't have to do that because it's all doing it for you. Yes, you can set it up where you can go in and do the things yourself, but hey, being able just to have it happen, it's kind of a nice thing.
It is. It absolutely is. So let me share. If I can share my screen. See if I can do this right. Yeah. Got it. Okay. And this is actually ours. So I mean, we eat our own dog food over here. Okay, guys.
So if I bring that there's that.
Are you showing it?
Yep, you're on there. You see it, I see it.
Cool. So this shows you our overall rate, our average. We've got a 5-star rating right now. Number of reviews, we've been a little bit of a decline. We switched up some things and I accidentally turned it off for a short period of bit because I didn't realize I had turned it off. One of my guys was like, "Hey, did you know you did that?" I'm like, "No." He's like, maybe you should pay attention to what you're doing. Like you're but it does, you can set a goal, like how many reviews do you want to get, how many, and so it works like this. Okay, how many reviews do you want to have? 50? All right, well, you need to send out at least 50 invites then, right? Probably more like 75 to 100 to get that. And then what's the overall sentiment? Online listings. This is another part of another tool there, but it shows you back in August we were really kicking it, and down here we've backed it off a little bit, but we were getting good reviews in August, September. Got a couple of good ones there in November, and then it shows you who you've sent them to, and then some of your latest reviews. So it's a very, very powerful tool, and it's easy. You just click this button. And this is if you're doing it manually. Again, like I said, this can be completely automated to where it automatically sends this out. But you can choose your from your contacts. You can just click that. You can include the phone number, and this is going to text and email it to them. So you can do either one or both.
Okay.
And it'll automatically send out. So let's see if Todd's in here. Does that look like you, Todd? Probably shouldn't put your phone number on the internet, but here we go. So we're going to go ahead.
It's there.
Yeah. So we're good. So if you guys are recording this, you now have Todd's number. Sorry, Todd.
See, well, no, because I have it in my tag, so there it is. But there's my thing. I got my stuff from Bob. So if we do this real time, then we should be able to see it on that side, right? If we go through it from there. So if I go in here, it's going to ask me to sign into my Googler account. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and, they want my password apparently too. And root leave there. And yep, so here. So if I could spell, this would be very better.
They've got an AI tool for that too.
Yeah, and it's changing it for me. It's great.
Oh, that's fun. I really hope that you guys are getting something out of these conversations, especially tonight. This is a something that when we figured it out, it really helped boost our overall Google ranking. We saw people coming in the door more.
There we go, and it just went through. So let's see if what we're able to see on your side for it. So then, while this is processing through there, if somebody signs up, one of the first things that we would do would be grab their, hey, we need your customer list to go ahead and let's start with this. Let's get the reviews going. Let's get the people knowing, hey, here's what's
Yeah.
going on. We've bought from you, you've bought from us in the past. We'd love to hear about your experience. If you can go ahead and do this, because I think that is kind of the jump start of getting your ecosystem working. One, it's, getting those people to answer you, to remember you, to see you again. And then how else can you, incorporate them into more of your marketing things, and how you should be doing stuff, how often you should be sending it. So hopefully, we're able to see it and see how long it processes through here for it.
Yeah, I know this one, and I'll come back and dovetail with what you're saying there in a second, but I know this one here, it came in, it took it like a half hour. So
Okay.
we'll leave this open and see how long it takes, but it does. And right now we're set to where it will fire with AI, so you'll see that response right away.
Okay.
And it just takes time. Our system is actually running faster than Google usually, so we'll circle back to that. But
Okay.
you had mentioned you come on board with it. This is a strategy that you should deploy, that we can help you to deploy to begin to automate that process. So you can go back to, if you've been in business for some time and you've never really done a campaign asking for reviews, and you want to really boost that, you can go ahead and use one of the campaigns that we have, send that out, and get reviews like instantly. It will really help you, and then continue to have that as a nurture sequence that will follow up and request those reviews over time as well. But that kind of goes along with with some of the other campaigns that we can do, such as a database reactivation. If one of the things, if you've got an established business and you're not emailing your clients on a regular basis, this system will automate that, and you will. It's like free money. You just turn the spigot on, because those people that have done business with you before will come back and do business with you again. It's just the way they are. But a lot of times they have to be asked. And even if it's it's something where most people don't do it multiple times. Like I know T-Town with your tint, right? Ask for referrals in that same campaign. So send that out and ask for referrals. If you've done a good job and your stuff's dialed in, people will be happy to send a referral. But you have to ask for it.
So if somebody signs up, which one would you go with first? Would you start with the database reactivation, or would you start with the reviews?
You can do both simultaneously, to be
Okay.
honest. I would probably lead with the reviews if you don't have good reviews, right? If you're one of those businesses that only has a few reviews, I would start with that, because you want, as much as you want new business coming in, you want to go and make sure that you're solid, that when people search you out, that you look the part first. So it's a little bit of wanting to understand where you're positioned as a client and addressing that. So, but if you're solid with reviews, you're 40, 50, 60, 100 reviews already, then we'll just start with a database reactivation, and then we'll lead with that, and then follow up with the review request. But but at the same time, if you're teetering on like, hey, I got to get this thing going, you turn both loose. It won't deter people.
Okay. And those are all set up template based, right? So you don't really have to think or do anything. You just have to upload your customer list, and then you're off to the races. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. In our system, it's that simple. When you get set up, you have a lot of pieces that are already put in place, and we've really worked on this over the last few months to improve that onboarding experience, to help you understand like how to utilize things, and that where we found people that really strive and really win with the platform is if they're somewhat established. Because it's you've got to have. I tell everybody, when you start a business, you should have your attorney, your accountant, and your marketing person on your team, right? Most omit the marketing person. They know, hey, I should call the attorney and get that done. And most are like, I hate the accountant, but whatever, we'll include that. But that marketing person that will kind of help you navigate those waters when you're first getting rolling is important. But oftentimes that's the piece that gets left out of the equation. Mm-hmm. So I tell people, if you're established, you've got, maybe you've been in business for 6 months, a year, or whatever, and you're like, hey, we need to grow. This is where we'll really come in and shine with you.
So speaking of that, when you're saying, they need to, get their marketing person on board, they need to get some kind of marketing going. What do you think, because I know there's a bunch of numbers that are thrown around there, as somebody's, gross sales, let's say they do, $100,000 in sales. How much of that should they really be spending on marketing?
Probably, so the average is anywhere from 10 to 15%. In the smaller you earn, like the smaller your gross, the larger that percentage. If you're really small and you're treating this like a business that's going to grow, 20-25% is not out of the question. When you look at all the big marketing books and the marketing gurus out there, they'll tell you, 20-25% is not uncommon in that ramp up, that early on growth stage. And then as you grow, you kind of pull that back. But Coca-Cola, right? They still spend billions with a B on marketing. And it's, a lot of that at their stage is just to keep you top of mind.
Yes.
That's just as important as it is to launch a new campaign. Sometimes it's just to, remind people, hey, come buy our stuff, as opposed to like, hey, here's this hot deal, where you're where you're trying to drive people in and get people to take advantage of a new deal. Sometimes it's just reminding the community that you're there.
Yeah, I just seen something because I went and looked, and overall, I mean, here, when you have Coca-Cola and you're thinking, wait, they don't, yeah, you see your stuff, especially now, to me, it's not the holidays until you see, the Coca-Cola Bears, and when it comes to marketing, I think a good handful of people, most know, maybe some don't, but our whole vision of what Santa is now is due to Coca-Cola. They created that for it. That was their thing for it. But looking at it, Coca-Cola has, on average, the last 7 years, taken out, aside from 2020, which was there, they spend $4 billion per year on advertising. $4 billion per year. So yeah. I guess when we look at all that, and for because this is just a small snippet of things that we're able to do and offer for them. So maybe give them the rundown on that. Hey, here's what here's some of what you can get. Here's what the cost is for it. It's not going to be for everybody. I will just lead with that. If you don't have it in your budget, you don't have it in your budget. It's not for you. But for the ones that want to grow and want to have success with it, then it's something to consider. So why don't you tell us about that? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up what we're going to give them, so that way we can show that up too.
Let me just bring up this real quick. And go back to share.
I'll go through some comments on it from here. Let's get back to it. Teton says, I get so many customers from reading my 207 reviews on Google tinning out of the house over a retail shop. See, love that.
Absolutely.
And
those reviews with him are what's blowing him up, because he he's obviously the real deal. He's got social credibility now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that social proof is a huge thing. And then the Lori asks, why do people give bad reviews that have never had any contact with the business? Because they're a-holes. I mean,
Yeah,
realistically,
I
I see a lot of that, especially floating around, on the social media side of things, where somebody, they don't like their position on something that they did. What's who they voted for, a stand that they took, and so then that's what they do is they flood them with reviews on that, and that's a real thing that happens every day now. Let's see. T-Town said, "Yep, I have more reviews than all the other tint shops, even the ones that have been around for 10 plus years." And he's only in his third year. And that's the thing.
That's
That's
awesome.
social proof with those, or what is just what's huge. And then he said, "I do need to get more reviews on my T-shirt business. I've been getting a lot of calls lately for T-shirt side, but they all want DTF in town. You can do DTF. They just don't need to know you can't do DTF." And then Brian said, Brian also, besides on the shirt side of things, he owns a garage door company, and he says it survives on Google, Angie's List, and Yelp reviews. So yeah, I mean, reviews are what matter out there.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Just a little background. We used to own my wife and I used to own a lawn care company we did for 20 plus years. If you guys have been on any of these other calls, you've maybe heard me mention that. We had a ton of reviews, and it was our reviews. This was back before there were systems like this. We just knew that we had to get reviews. And that was some of our best marketing. Letter for us, it was lettered trucks, with our graphics on it, and in a strong Google presence. That really helped. But Lori, you had mentioned, like, why do people leave bad reviews if they've never done anything with your business? Let me share a story with you. There is a person in the lawn care industry over here in our area that has worked for probably every different lawn care company out there of any size. And every time he gets fired, because he always does, he goes in and leaves a 1-star review. And it's gotten so bad that, like, I was searching, we do a bunch of work with lawn care companies, and I was going through a couple of guys' sites, and it was literally the same guy leaving the same bad review because he had worked there he worked at 3 of them this past summer, apparently. And and they, it hurts the business when they get a 1-star review. Fortunately, and this is something I didn't touch on at all. So Lori, some people, they're just looking to find a way to get back at you. Sometimes you will get bad reviews just because you've got good reviews and somebody wants to mess with you. It's just people are weird, and that's why I say, when us as humans, when we look at this stuff, we'll see those 1-star reviews and be like, whatever, that was a waste, But then you look for the ones that are questionable, and that's what helps you make those buying decisions. But there was another point I was going to make there, and I totally lost it. I don't know. I guess I lost it like I lost my hair or whatever. Try to find that sometime. But hopefully that adds a little bit to it. Let's see. I think that just popped in. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Settings. Wrong button.
Present.
You guys, if you guys aren't laughing at me yet, just wait. You'll find a reason. Here we go. If you guys saw reviews received, it went from 7 to 8. And here's Todd. Very informative, and all we need marketing help. Awesome. Thank you. And if you watch for a period of time, let's see here, reviews. Yeah, so look I responded already.
Yep, 3 minutes ago I got it. I got it there. Thank you for your kind words, Todd. We're glad to hear that we have been informative and available whenever you need marketing help. We appreciate your support. So see, it's like that. And Bob was here with us the whole time. So
yeah, well, I mean, kind of. I'm here as much as maybe I'm just a figment of all of you guys' imagination. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But so let's jump over here. We were talking about, like, how do you unlock the cool for your business, right?
Right.
So
I like that.
we do it in kind of a varied structure here, but we have 2 plans that are available through through Better with Marketing, and this is Todd and I's uh, combination of resources. So we have the Elevate plan, which is $297 a month.
Are you showing
And then,
something?
should be.
Because you're still on the review screen.
All right, let me stop.
So you share the other tab. Share the. That's what I knew. I knew what was going on. I'm like,
and you're good. You're good. I like it.
I'm like, I've done this once or twice where I think I'm sharing
if I
stuff.
Can do this, man, I'm just here to give everybody hope.
That's give them hope. Give them hope.
If I can do this, anybody can.
If
a dumb lawn care guy can start a marketing company and have people paying them money and build a business off of that, anybody can do this stuff.
There it is.
So, if we're just going to be real, I mean, whew. But so we have a couple of different platform or plans, and these are the plans. The Elevate plan, which is $297 a month, you're going to get a website or a sales funnel developed for you. You have access to our 24/7 tech support, unlimited number of team members. You have a full, really, really robust CRM. This CRM is going to be easily aligned with companies like HubSpot, Salesforce, large, powerful CRMs. You're going to get the auto missed call text back feature. We haven't talked about that, but basically it's just where somebody calls up and they're like, and you're busy sewing out a shirt, you missed the call, and they're going to automatically send a text saying, hey, sorry, we missed you. How can we help? And what that does is it prevents that person from going to the next Google result and calling them and spending money with your competition. All right. You can do call recording if you want. You've got a universal inbox that pulls all of your different communication channels into one. So your email, text, Facebook, Google business profile messages, all of that stuff, it all gets pulled into one. It's got AI power in most everything now. So your content creation, your social media, you can sit down for 30 minutes and create at least a week's worth of social media posts that are going to be powerful and engaging using the AI tool. Automations, a full suite of tools to help automate those processes. It gets really kind of complex. I'm going to kind of gloss over that, but understand automations is the stuff that makes things happen when something happens. So you send out a proposal, it automatically will send you can automatically send out a follow-up to make sure somebody received it, or ask if they had questions or whatever. All of that can be automated. Reporting, you kind of saw some of the reporting there with the reputation management system, the review system. That's just a small bit of the reporting. There's a lot of reports available in the system. Campaigns, email, text campaigns. So we are A2P 10DLC compliant. So you do have to register your number and get that set up. That can, depending on how your business is structured, that can be a little bit of a bump in the road for some people. Other people, it's super easy. But you can do all of your email and text marketing campaigns through this platform. Forms, if you're collecting information, and Todd's going to talk about this here in a moment, your forms and other stuff where you're collecting info, that's all powered through here as well. And then on the 497 plan, you get AI powered ad tools. So if you're running ad, this is for people that are really ready to grow. So your AI ad tool, this is if you want to run ads on any digital platform, Google, Bing, Yahoo, or not Yahoo, Facebook, Instagram. I'm drawing a blank on it. It covers all that. Yext. This is it's automatic SEO. So it's going to go out and make sure that your profile is right on, I don't know, like 100 different platforms. Super powerful AI powered chat and conversation tool. That's really, really cool. It's like having how do I say? It's like having an assistant that you're not paying. So it's pretty cool. Blogs, surveys, and a whole lot more. So there's those are the two plans. there is an onboarding fee depending on what all we're doing, but this will be your base cost, $297 or $497 a month. So I encourage everybody. We're through the end of the month. We're doing some really big discounts on the onboarding part of it to help people get prepared for 2024. So, Todd, with that, why don't I stop sharing and why don't you talk about the really cool stuff that we have been working in the background on earlier today and last week and a half?
This has been some fun stuff. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we could do is, hey, can we have something we can offer somebody to when they're just getting started with us? Like, and we after talking to Bob, I said, something that I think every business owner needs, especially in our line, is some kind of ease of, a price calculator. Here's an estimator, and here's something we can do. So, that's why I asked in a couple different groups and a couple different friends is like, hey, what is it? What's something that we could, how does this work for you? So that's what we did. We came up with this apparel decoration calculator, and the way that this works, you're gonna get this. It's going to be installed on your site, one way or another, whether it's through what we're currently doing or through your site, because the way that we build it, we're able to now. A couple of the things with this right now, we currently have this set where it'll just go to a Google Sheet. So you don't need to, if you don't want to spend the money on the marketing, which you should, it is offered for a standalone thing. But I encourage you that it is well worth it to get into the system and get it, because not only we're doing this is basically your apparel decoration side of it. After talking with people, there's going to be one for embroidery, there's going to be one for laser engraving. Pretty much, if there's a process that it needs to, we're going to be able to do it. And then we met with a developer today who we are pretty sure that we're able to seamlessly take this and everything that'll come in this right into your CRM. So we'll be able to, once somebody hits that quote button, it'll populate an email that send it to them because they're a warm lead right there, and it'll start reaching out to them. And the way, if you haven't seen this yet, the way that it works is I need to get over to that side of it so you can see it is as you go through. I have these based off 50-50 blend shirts. You can enter in whatever, we can customize this to what you want. So as we come in here, this is going to be me. We're going to enter, everybody knows my email address, so no big deal there. And then you got, whether it's t-shirt, long sleeve, crew neck, or hoodie. You need to add something else in here, we can do that. We're giving them a choice on whether they want a good, better, best selection on it. So we're going to go with good. We're going to find out how many garments that they want. Now we have this set, so there are different tiers of it. This tier current breakdown is 1 through 12, 13 through 23, 24 through 71, 72 through 143, 143 to 299, 300 to 499, 500 to 999, and 1,000 plus. So each one of those, there's a different price break on it. So if we're going 150 print locations, so typically we have up to 3 print locations. Let's go a front, a back, and a sleeve. So we're just going one. How many colors are in the design? Well, single color or multiple color. That's pretty much what it comes down to, because you're going to determine what method is going to work best for you. But mostly single color, you're going to, if you're not doing screen printing in-house, you're going to do screen printed transfers. Anything multicolor, you're going to do DTF on. So we'll go single. And then the other big thing is turnaround time. How soon do they need them? Because with this, we went ahead and have rush fees built into this as a percentage base, and we can change all of that for you. So 10 to 15 business day standard turnaround time, whatever they want in here. So if we're just going this one, they want 150 shirt, or we're going t-shirts, a good option, the 150, one print location, single color, and then calculate. So as it calculated, there it is. They're going to be their cost is $8 per unit on it. Total estimated cost plus setup and design fee is $12.35. It's $12.35, and various factors determine the pricing. So your job could be as little or as much as $9.88 to $14.82. So we built that out there, so it's very easy for you to get those quotes. Now, with that, I should be able to, if I stop this screen share and then I present and I add the other screen share, once I get over to that one, the leads generated from it, I want to make sure that I have that on there. Let's see. Yeah, that's on there. So if we go down, then we can see that there is that one that we just did. So here it is, and it's in the system all ready to go in there with it. So we're able to know exactly what they want. And when it is in that system for it, then, hey, now you have that. You're going to have that warm lead that has already went through your system. They already have a general idea. They are a warm lead because they're looking for something. and it's going to be built in the system where, hey, now it's just an email. I'm asking for more details. There was talk, should you have a different, what a good, better, best was. Well, not everybody's the same. What I consider good, better, best may not be what you consider good, better, best. The other thing is customers, a lot of them don't know, what a Bella is versus a Next Level versus a Hanes versus a Comfort Colors. They just don't know. So when you put it on there, that's just confused them more. You're giving them options to choose from, and then it's up to you to follow up to refine those details. And we can create that whole sequence where it gets those details. And by the time you actually get involved with it, you already know what the print location is. Is it left chest? Is it a full front? Is it full color? What kind of thing that they're looking for, the color of apparel that they're looking for, the turnaround. You already have all the information. So it's pretty easy for you to come up with that quote form and then reach out with them and just close the deal. Because at the end of the day, it takes away all that stuff that sucks about the business of quoting, where it's like, here's emails back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Whereas if we can just create something for you, and here it's doing it all for it, it's asking questions, it's going back and forth, and then it just comes to you. You don't have to do it. And then that's all built in there. And now that you have their email, guess what? Even if they don't, here's another person that's in your system to follow up with on various things throughout the year, that specials you might have running, different events that are going on. But you have now, the best part of this is, here's a warm lead, somebody looking for a quote, and you're able to reach out to them and start that conversation to get it going. So I'm really excited about how that is turning out. And we believe that, by this conversation next month, when we start rolling out more things, that we'll have that set up where we'll be able to show all of that through it. And even here on, showing how this, the review system works in that, we are updating our system. So we're going to pull all of our information, put in there, and that's what we're going to start. We're going to run that, that reactivation campaign, and we're going to run the review campaign. So so we can show you next month, here's everything we've done, here's what we've got out of it, so you can actually see those real world results with it. So I'm really excited with that. That's what I got for him, Bob.
That tool is so incredibly powerful. So when Todd and I talked about this, I don't know, 2 months ago, when we started that conversation.
Yep.
And I had told him that in our lawn care company, we had this widget that we had custom coded on our website. I spent $5,000 back then to have that coded and put in our website. That was the number one sales tool on our website, because as long as we were within the range that thing spit out for people, and we always were, because we knew what it was. Mm-hmm. As long as we were in that range, I closed 95% of those deals. Because if they saw that it was within this, they were accepting of that price point. So when we followed up with them, and they're like, well, how much is it? And we've, in the back end, we ran our estimates process, and we followed up and said, hey, John, thanks for reaching out. We saw you were looking for, yard service, and it's going to be this much. People loved it. They were like, that was quick. It was easy. And they were ready to go. Same thing with this. How many times do you get people, I call them tire kickers, that are like, hey, how much for a t-shirt? And you stop what you're doing, especially if you're a small operation, you stop what you're doing. You spend a half hour at minimum, you spend a half hour answering it. And then they're like, okay, thanks. And they go to the competition. This eliminates the tire kickers, right? There's always going to be people that are like, well, Mary over here, they'll do it for $2 less. Well, go to Mary. Fine. That's not your customer. Because if you put that out there and they fill it out and they're like, hey, they want to move forward, that's somebody that you're going to close, So whatever number that we decide to charge for this, I know that if you sign up right now with our system, we're giving you that tool for free. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly where we've settled if we're selling it as a standalone tool. I know we batted around some pretty reasonable numbers earlier, but that tool will generate you revenue. And if you don't close that deal right away, you have their information to be able to follow up with them. Mm-hmm. Because maybe they, you just weren't in the budget, right? And they end up calling the competition, and they're they give them to them for half off because they saw your price and all that type of stuff. Good, let them lose the money. But when their stuff fails, they get crap product. They're going to remember you, and if you are emailing them all the time, telling them about all the awesome marketing things that T-shirts can do, well, they're going to come back and do business with you anyway. And it was all because you captured their information from that tool.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys are starting to see some of the value of that. And yes, you can use that tool as a standalone tool, but the real value of it is when it's bolted into the system that automates all of that.
Yeah.
Right. So somebody comes in and they're like, hey, this is I like this pricing. They end up in your system and you're able to follow up with them. So
as a standalone one, there's still going to be quite a bit of legwork on your own. You're going to have to figure out what to do once you collect that information. When you're in the system, guess what? It's going to do that for you. And like I said,
show them the spreadsheet again, just so they can see how all the information's there, but you get to figure it out.
Yeah, let's see, share screen, and we will bring that one back up here. But yeah, as it goes through it, I mean, as we look, everything that it's collecting from it is going to be, the name, the email, the garment type, everything through here, and then that's just going to work right into it for you. So you're going to have all that information in there. Like I said, as we're working through it, we're able to add more to it. We're able to customize it a lot for you, because if you want to add certain products in there. But remember, we don't need to get super detailed with this because it's just an estimate. A lot of times people don't know. Okay, hey, what's this going to cost me for it? Okay, here, this is going to give you your estimate, and you're going to fall in between that. There's a 20% range that we have built on that, high and low. So as long as you fall within that, you should be good. And that's where it's going through. And knowing your numbers is something that is a big part of it, which, it's something that, we started to work on, and that, we're going to have developed is that whole, here's what it is to run your business, where you're going to be able to enter in some stuff, and it's going to give that to you. So you're able to pump that out there too, because at the end of the day, we want you to be profitable. We want you to succeed. We want you to be able to get as many sales as you can with the less stress. And if automation can help with a lot of these monotonous things that we know we need to do, but we're just not doing. Yeah, I know I need to send stuff out for emails. I know I need to get reviews. I know I need to do this. And it can be just, that overwhelming where it's like, I don't even know where to start. Well, hey, you start by signing up with us, get it going, and then it's all automated. It does it from you, and we'll get together and we'll get you set on the right path for it. So I'm super excited about what we can do for people and how we can help them succeed in 2024, which I guess then leads me to next month. Next month is what day did we decide we were doing that? Let me check my calendar here, unless you have it handy, because I think it's like that second Tuesday, right? Because the first Tuesday is the second. And I think it's
we push it off to the 9th or something like that.
Yeah, the 9th. So talk to us. What are we going to talk about there on the 9th? Because we'll hear leading up to this, before I get into it, looking at the next shows that we have coming up next week, we have Sarah Risser in here, and we're going to talk using Canva to create content. And then the 26th is going to be our year in review. And then for us on the 2nd, that one is going to be goal setting for 2024. And then we've got Bob in here on the 9th. So, Bob, what are we going to talk about on the 9th next month? Next year already.
You know what? We've talked about a couple of different topics. I think we're going to probably push quite a bit on AI again, and probably email campaigns, because if you've got goals, you got to get out. No, actually, I take that back. We swapped this out. So we're going to talk AI and we're going to talk ads.
Yep. Because I have in mind, and I think I hit the notes with it, is I have using AI to reach your goals. That's what I had down for it. And because one way or another, through showing how, and I think by then, with us now integrating it into our site, we'll be able to show you a lot more of here's everything that we did from basically now until the 9th, and show you those results and how you can see what it works from there. Because then I think in February we're talking virtual assistants. That's what I have on here. and then that's where mine stops at. We got through February, so we'll figure out the rest after that.
Right, Brian's no email campaigns.
Well, email, that's part of it, and that can be especially set up on the high level side of it.
Yep. So we'll talk about that. We'll touch on that. Okay, Brian.
Yep.
If you show up and you remind us, we'll talk about it.
We'll make sure to
let us know in the comments, Brian, because otherwise we'll just forget it. He's not here. We don't need to talk about that.
That's next year. Am I going to remember next year? Hey, that's next year. We got to remember on. So yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, Bob.
What else? Middle-aged blonde, man. We're struggling every day.
What else do we have? Anything else for anybody before we kick you out of here?
No. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. All right, Bob, I'm going to put you back here in the green room, and we'll go from there. All right. So another marketing class. We're going to, like I said, we do these monthly. Next month, that's where we're using AI to, meet your goals in 24. Going through it next week, we're talking, using Canva to create content. Now, here's a shocker. Sarah is not super thrilled to be on camera. So I said, listen, we can just do a screen share and you can show everything there and you can talk about it. We're going to help her through that. You guys are going to help too. And then we're going to, review the year on the last show of the year. We didn't hit all of our goals. And that's what, there's a lot of factors that went into it. So I think we're going to be able to, going into next year using AI to help reach those goals is going to be a big thing. And then in that first show of the year is going to be, setting those goals, so I'll have the links out there so that way you can put the info in. I think this time, we're going to kind of have that monthly goal of what are we going to accomplish this month. And then every month we'll touch base on those and do it. I think we'll do that. First one, we'll do a quarterly show on our goals. I think a monthly one, we'll do it on a morning mindset just to see where everybody is with it. And then we have Bob back here talking AI again next month. But for more information on all of this, like I said, if you're ready to sign up and take that leap, right here, sign up down below, betterwithmarketing.com. We will help you get going to the next level. Look at this. Brian says, I'm going to several conferences in January and need email follow-up. Well, so if you're going to them in January, Brian, maybe we'll have to double up shows. Maybe we'll have to do one on that and then do an email one. I'm sure Bob wouldn't be opposed to that. So maybe we'll do a double dose and go through it. And then we're going from there. So, all right, you guys, we'll be back here tomorrow morning mindset. We do that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to join us tomorrow morning for that. Until next time, everybody, you guys have an amazing night. Peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time.